What happens when war is no longer fought by humans? When the battlefield is ruled by machines that never sleep, never hesitate, and never disobey? In this video, we're diving into one of the most unsettling developments in military history, China's secret AI lab, and its creation of humanoid soldiers. These aren't sci-fi concepts. They're real, they're advancing fast, and they might just change warfare forever. But what does this mean for global power? And how is the rest of the world responding? Let's find out China is not just racing toward AI dominance, it's sprinting. And if you think this is just about smarter chatbots or better facial recognition, think again. The real game? Military AI. In 2017, China made a bold announcement. By 2030, it plans to be the world leader in artificial intelligence. Not just a competitor, the leader. This wasn't some vague political promise. It was the next generation artificial intelligence development plan, a carefully crafted blueprint to inject AI into every sector, from finance to healthcare to, of course, warfare. Because let's be real, whoever controls AI on the battlefield controls the future of war. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Unlike most countries, where military and civilian technology developments are kept separate, China follows a strategy called military-civil fusion. Sounds futuristic, right? Well, it's already happening. This policy blurs the lines between military and commercial advancements, meaning that any breakthrough in AI, whether it's for self-driving cars or automated factories, can immediately be adapted for military use. Imagine a company designing a humanoid robot for factory work, only for that same technology to end up in a war zone, armed and operational. That's exactly the kind of pipeline China is building, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. The Chinese government has pumped billions into AI research, with massive funding funneled into universities, tech startups, and defense contractors. In fact, back in 2017, nearly half of all global AI startup investments flowed straight into Chinese companies. That's not just ambition, that's a full-scale AI arms race. For years, China has been pouring billions into artificial intelligence, determined to become the world's top AI superpower by 2030. And if you think that just means better recommendation algorithms and smarter home assistants, you're way off. China is going all in on humanoid robotics, pushing boundaries that once seemed impossible. Take Fourier's GR1, a robot that's been making waves since its debut. This thing stands 1.65 meters tall and can walk, map its surroundings, and avoid obstacles, all without tripping over like those clunky old robots from a decade ago. By 2024, Fourier wasn't just showing off prototypes, they were mass-producing thousands of these humanoids. And that's just one example. Then there's Agibot, the brainchild of a former Huawei engineer who decided that regular robots weren't ambitious enough. They're Rays. A one robot? It's taller than most people, 1.75 meters, can walk at 7 kilometers per hour, and can lift 80 kilograms without breaking a sweat. Because, well, it doesn't sweat. Imagine an army of these machines rolling off the production line, ready to take on industrial tasks today, and potentially military missions tomorrow. But China isn't stopping at building them. It's making sure the whole world watches. On April 13th, 2025, Beijing is hosting the world's first humanoid robot half marathon. Yep, you read that right. Robots will be running alongside thousands of human athletes, competing in a 21-kilometer race. And no, they won't be pushed around on wheels or carried by engineers. These humanoids will run the race themselves, showing off their endurance, speed, and, let's be honest, probably making us question how close we are to robots outperforming us in everything. But this event isn't just about entertainment, it's a statement, a way for China to show that humanoid robots aren't just research projects anymore. They're practical, adaptable, and ready for real-world applications. And if they can handle a half marathon, what else can they do? Something terrifying is happening in China's military labs. The line between science fiction and reality is blurring, and at the heart of it all is a robotic wolf with a rifle on its back and an AI brain that obeys voice commands. No, this isn't a scene from a dystopian movie. This is the QUGV Wolf, a machine designed to climb stairs, track enemies, and even open fire on command. And that's just the beginning. The Chinese military isn't just building robotic attack dogs, they're also weaponizing artificial intelligence, creating powerful military-grade AI models like Chatbit, an advanced system derived from Meta's Llama. This AI isn't here to chat about the weather. It's being trained to process battlefield intelligence, coordinate attacks, and make split-second decisions that could mean life or death. But why is China pushing so aggressively into AI-driven warfare? And what does this mean for the rest of the world? Let's break it down. The rise of the QUGV Wolf. When China unveiled the QUGV Wolf at the Zhuhai Air Show, the world took notice. This wasn't just another drone or remote-controlled weapon. It was something far more advanced, a robotic quadruped that could respond to voice commands, navigate complex terrain, and, if necessary, eliminate a target. A machine that listens, moves, and fights like a soldier, but without the fear, exhaustion, or hesitation of a human. Military strategists immediately saw the implications. The QUGV Wolf can be deployed in high-risk areas where human soldiers wouldn't survive. It can climb stairs, maneuver through rubble, and operate in urban environments where traditional vehicles struggle. It can also carry heavy loads, assist in reconnaissance, and, most chillingly, be armed with automatic rifles. Now, think about what that means. A fully autonomous combat unit that doesn't need rest, doesn't feel pain, and doesn't hesitate before pulling the trigger. That's not just a battlefield advantage, it's a paradigm shift in warfare. Chatbit, the AI war strategist. While robotic soldiers like the QUGV Wolf are designed for physical combat, China's military AI research is focused on something even more strategic: intelligence and decision-making. Enter Chatbit, a powerful AI system based on Meta's Llama model, but modified for military applications. This isn't your everyday chatbot. Chatbit is being trained to analyze intelligence reports, process satellite imagery, and even predict enemy movements. It can translate intercepted communications, assess battlefield conditions in real time, and provide commanders with the best possible strategy within seconds. But here's the part that should make you uneasy. AI like this isn't just a tool, it's a decision maker, a system capable of processing vast amounts of data faster than any human could, making recommendations that could determine the outcome of battles, or even wars. And as AI becomes more advanced, how long before it starts making those decisions on its own? The world is waking up to a new kind of arms race, one that doesn't just involve missiles, tanks, or fighter jets. This time the battlefield is shifting toward artificial intelligence, humanoid robots, and autonomous war machines. And at the heart of it all, China, with its relentless push to merge AI with military power, forcing the rest of the world to rethink its own strategies. The United States isn't sitting back and watching. The moment China's advancements in AI-driven warfare started making headlines, Washington moved fast. Export controls on cutting-edge semiconductor technology tightened overnight. AI chips, advanced computing systems, anything that could give China an edge, were suddenly much harder to access. The reasoning was simple: slow down their progress, keep them from building the kind of AI that could outthink, outmaneuver, and ultimately overpower Western military forces. But it's not just about limiting China's access to technology. The US is also trying to shape the conversation around AI and war itself. At the Summit on Responsible Artificial Intelligence in the Military Domain, the US pushed forward a political declaration calling for ethical and responsible use of AI in warfare. On the surface, it sounds noble: rules for AI-driven weapons, limits on how far autonomous combat systems can go. But underneath, it's also a strategic move. If AI-powered soldiers are going to be part of the future, the US wants to be the one setting the rules, not following them. Other countries are caught in the middle of this high-stakes game. Take Malaysia, for example, a country that plays a key role in the global semiconductor industry. With US sanctions making it harder for China to get its hands on advanced chips, Malaysia suddenly finds itself having to navigate a tricky path. Does it align with Washington's restrictions, potentially risking trade relations with China? Or does it find a way to keep its semiconductor exports flowing Without stepping on any political landmine, ISIS nodder are indeed these aren't easy decisions, and Malaysia isn't the only one facing them. Meanwhile, Europe is taking a different approach. Instead of getting caught in a tug-of-war between two superpowers, European nations are focusing on developing their own AI capabilities. They're pouring money into research, strengthening regulations, and pushing for international agreements on the ethical use of AI in warfare. While China and the US are racing to see who can build the most advanced autonomous war machines, Europe is asking a different question. Should we even be building them in the first place? That's exactly why the international community has started stepping in. In 2023, the world's top military and AI experts gathered in The Hague for the first ever global summit on AI in warfare. The outcome? A non-binding agreement urging countries to use AI responsibly. A second summit followed in Seoul, proving that the world is beginning to take this issue seriously. But here's the thing, non-binding agreements are just words. There are no real consequences for breaking them. And as history has shown, when it comes to military technology, countries rarely slow down just because someone asks them to. So, what happens next? AI isn't slowing down, and neither is military robotics. Right now, China is leading the charge in developing humanoid military robots. These aren't just walking machines, they're becoming more autonomous, smarter, and more adaptable to different combat situations. The goal? To create AI-driven soldiers that can operate alongside humans, or maybe even replace them. And that's just one piece of the puzzle. AI-powered war machines won't operate in isolation. They'll integrate with cyber warfare tools, unmanned aerial vehicles, and autonomous naval systems. Wars will no longer be fought just on the ground, in the air, or at sea. They'll happen in a world of digital battlefields where AI predicts attacks before they happen, drones operate without human pilots, and humanoid soldiers fight wars on behalf of their creators. The long-term impact is impossible to ignore. If AI-driven war machines become the norm, smaller countries without access to this technology will be at an even greater disadvantage. The balance of power could shift dramatically. Military alliances could be reshaped, and the ethical questions, they'll only get harder. If an AI soldier makes a mistake, if it misidentifies a target, or worse, decides to act outside of human command, who takes responsibility? The programmers? The military? The AI itself? These are the kinds of questions that need answers before it's too late. But right now, the race is moving too fast for anyone to stop and think. China's advancements have forced the world into a corner. The US is pushing back. Europe is trying to regulate. Other countries are scrambling to keep up. But one thing is certain, this isn't the future of warfare. It's the present, and the world better be ready. The world isn't just preparing for war with guns and tanks anymore. The battlefield is evolving, and the latest weapons aren't made of steel alone. They think, they move, and they might even make decisions on their own. Artificial intelligence is no longer just about chatbots and self-driving cars. It's now creeping into the military, and China is leading the charge with its humanoid soldiers. That isn't just a shift in technology, it's a shift in power. And the rest of the world? They're scrambling to keep up. AI-powered soldiers, robotic war dogs, and decision-making machines. This isn't just a glimpse of the future. It's happening right now. China's push for military AI dominance has sparked a global race, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Will nations find a way to control this technology, or are we heading into an era where wars are fought by machines with minds of their own?